Wait, good morning. Today is a UA class, sir. So basically, know, right? Full stack developer should know the three levels. One is the front end development. This one, front end development. You want full stack development means front end development. Front end development. Second one is what? Back end. Front end and back end development. And we should know database environment. So previously, so front end team is separate and back end team is separate and database system is separate. So in real time, 10 years back, like 2014, 15, that time. So front end team is completely separate, back end team is separate, and database team is what? Completely separate. The present market, the full stack developer, we are having the data in real time. So the one person should handle the front end data, one person should handle the front end and back end and what database data. So as part of today, we'll go for the front end development. Go for what? Front end development. Tell me guys, the front end basically we should know. Tell me what are front end technologies? What is what we should know? HTML, very nice. CSS, JavaScript. Front end like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So and we required one more tool like Bootstrap is required for the styling purpose. We have the Bootstrap, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and Bootstrap. See, most of the people they discuss like in front end. If I ask the question like what do you know about the front end means, most of the people are saying like I know HTML, CSS, and what JavaScript. I know HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So the student is answer like I know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Immediately you ask the person like do you know React? Do you know React? Do you know React JS? They said like we know the basics of React. We know what? Basics of React. Once if you know the basics of React, simply we are saying that you are not fit for the industry. So because industry we require only React JS. We don't want HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and Bootstrap. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is all the technologies like basic terms, basic platforms to build the React project. Build what React project. So front end means we should know like React JS. Front end means what we should know what React JS. That's what main target should be like React JS is very important for us. So HTML is important, CSS is important, JavaScript is important. But using this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, we need to build the React project because the company required HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but the company required React JS. React JS. I'm saying this word means like most of the interviews when you attend the interviews, you're saying like what do you know about the front end is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then immediately we no need to take the interview for you because we required front end means what React JS. What we required React JS, right? That React JS is very powerful to build applications. Netflix, Amazon, Flipkart, every companies are using what React JS to build application. But HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is what are the basic platforms to build the React project. To build what project? React project. That is called front end technologies we're talking about. Second one is what is back end technologies. Okay, we'll talk about the back end later. Forgot about the back end here. Front end means we should know the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap. But in real time, the applications are built using HTML, CSS, or using React. Using HTML, CSS, or using React. React. We should know React. You should have aware of most like React is very powerful. Why I'm saying that what means the Samirpet students mostly, the faculties also they will teach HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and more time, 2 months or 3 months. React they will spend like 10 to 15 days. 10 to 15 days. Sir, why they are focused on HTML, CSS if the companies are not using HTML, CSS? Because the faculty knows only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. They don't know React simply. Because company requires what only React architecture, React Flow, React Redux, React single page application, React Axios, React. That's a kind of personality. So finally, someone is asking what do you know about the front end means? You should tell like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, you must include what React. I built one project in React. I built one project in what React. I'm talking about the completely front end ways. At the end of this front end development, we should have the two things the front end development. One is, I think most of the guys, you've done the BTech and degree, right? BTech and degree. Do you have the portfolio website with you? Do you have the portfolio website? Good. See, after HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I will, after HTML, CSS, I will give one portfolio website for you. Portfolio website means what? See, every student should have a portfolio website. When I see the resume, when I see what? Resume. When I see the resume, what I will check that? I didn't check your core Java, I didn't check your advanced Java, I didn't check your prime number, factorial number. We don't want this all. What is the use of your even number, odd number, prime number in my company? So when I see the resume, I will check that first you have the portfolio website or not. The website undo check chestam. Portfolio website is there, link is there or not. Yes, link is there, good. The second one is like we should check the resume. GitHub link is there or not. Link GitHub. In the GitHub, you should maintain minimum at least 2-3 projects like that. The second one, GitHub link. The third one, like we'll check at least you build one React application which is in the live or not. You should build one application. You build what? One application that should be placed in the live. That should be placed in what? Live. Total how many links I told you? Total three. One is we should have the portfolio website. Link should be there. One is like GitHub link should be there. Number three is what? React project live link should be there. Because after completion of the React, I will deploy your project into the live so that everyone can use your project. I will deploy the project into the AWS or Vercel or some free hosting websites are there. I will deploy a project into what? AWS or Vercel. I will give the link for it. I will give what? Link. So finally, at the end of the front, I'm talking about only front. So when I talk about the backend, we should have one project about the microservices. We should have one project about the REST. We should have one project about MVC. I'm talking about the project. I'm not talking about hello world application. I'm not talking about A plus B edition. I'm not talking about the prime number, even number concept. I'm talking about what? One project that what you build. Still, you don't think college level. College level, you already done the 10 plus 20, 30, prime number, even number. And already college level, you by heart the sentences. Or even number is the number divisible by 2. Variable is you, or something like that. You by heart already definitions. You by heart already definition. Again, you come to here, again you are starting by hearting A plus B addition means. Then you will enter into the real industry. That's what we should by heart. We should focus on the project. Focus on what? By heart a project. Project. See guys, we have the n number of resources like ChatGPT is there, Copilot is there, Anti-Gravity is there to build the code and to copy paste the code. We never focus on the syntax as concept here. So developer is not meant for the to write the code. Developer is meant for copy the code from the ChatGPT and modify the code and resolve the errors. Solve the errors. It's not like sitting and the class addition, int A equal 10, int B equal 20, SOP of A plus B. I got the output. We want a job in TCS means. Possible, not possible. Not possible. See guys, technologies we can see internet n number of technologies will get n number of examples will get. The way of learning is very important. The way of thinking is very important. To become a developer, you always think about the project level. It's not like example level. One guy said Hello World is a big project. Hello World is what is a project? Hello World is just Hello World. That's it, right? You should have the project like that. So anyway, at the end of the front end, how many links should be there in your resume total? How many links? No, 3 links. Link 1 is what resume? Portfolio required. Portfolio required. Second is what? GitHub definitely required. GitHub means what? The GitHub should be in the live. That should be updated projects. It's not like your examples. Example 1, example 2, example 3. I check the sum of these guys. And when I take the interview in my company, I work for the multiple companies. When I work for the companies, still recently I took the interview for the CBIT people, students. Their resumes, they have the portfolio website, they have the hackathon links, they have the LinkedIn profile, they have the React project, they have the microservices project. They build that much resume. But the same entry, if I take for the American students, they have what? There is no resume, there is no GitHub link, there is no portfolio website, nothing is there. Just they have some qualification skills, qualifications and BTech, something like that. Maybe your resume also, maybe something like that. You please cross check your resume once. And you got the certificate. I participated in Y2K. I participated in the college fest. We don't want this already. So in your resume, make sure that how many links should be there. There's 3 links. One is the portfolio link. One is the GitHub link. One is the React project live link. React project what? Live link. That should be required in your resume. Then only I will start entry for that resume. If this resume, this data is there, then I will start the interview. If this resume is there, not there, no need to take the interview also. No need to take what? Interview. Got it? That's it. That's like front end main you have. So the first point is front end means what? What are the technologies we should do in the front end? HTML, CSS. No. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and go with React. So main is what? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or React? Main is React. If I ask the questions means what? I will not ask like HTML questions, CSS questions, JavaScript questions. I will ask the questions on what? React. Second one is what guys? In resume, how many links should be there? 3 links. One is the portfolio website, GitHub link, and React project live link for the front end and all. For the back end, again, I will give the MVC project, REST APIs project, and microservices project. I will build for that. We got it done? That's it, guys. Today we'll start the HTML, guys, without any doubts. We will do the HTML. What HTML full form, tell me? Hypertext markup language, right? Exactly. Hypertext markup language. What is a markup language? So you know hypertext markup language, right? Full form is HTML. What is markup language? I'll ask the question like, what is a markup language? I'll ask the question like, what is a hypertext? CSS full form is what? I'll ask the question like, what is a cascading? If I'm trying to ask some questions on HTML, the first question is what? What is a markup language? What is hypertext? What is cascading? What is what? Cascading. What is a cascading? That kind of questions you'll ask in the panel. And I'll ask one more question. Do you know HTML? Yes. What is the use of HTML? I'll ask the question. What is the use of HTML? Tell me guys, what is markup language? The language, what is the markup language? What is a markup language? What is the hypertext? What we can build with HTML? What is the use of HTML? What is the purpose of what? What is the purpose of HTML? What? Design purpose. Nice. That sentence enough. What is the purpose of HTML mask? Entire HTML use what? To design the pages. Applications. Applications design HTML. Using HTML, you can design applications. Big applications, we can design. We can do the HTML purpose. We can design web pages. Hey, I asked like one line sentence. I'm asking entire purpose of HTML. What HTML can do? To design the web pages, Design the web pages. Good. See guys, okay fine. There is a markup language like markup language means the language consists of tags. So any markup language guys, the language consists of what a tag based. Tags that is called markup language. Object oriented language, they're talking about objects. Markup language is talking about the tags. We're talking about what? Tags. Entire project, like an entire application consists of tags, that is called markup languages. So HTML is a markup language because HTML consists of what? Tags. XML is also markup language. Maybe extensible markup language, that is this of what? Tags. Markup language means what? The language consists of what? Tags. Just a markup language. So what is hypertext? Hypertext means like simply hyperlinks, which is a clickable. So website means definitely you're seeing like hyperlinks, right? We are seeing what hyperlinks. Hyperlinks means what? Vase items means vase items loaded. Non-vase items means non-vase items loaded. Cart items means cart loaded. Orders means orders loaded, right? That is called hyperlinks. Hypertext. Hypertext means what, guys? Hypertext means what? Links. Those are what? That is clickable, something like clickable. This is navigating to other pages. Navigating to what? Other pages. A website means what? All the links, right? Website means what? All the links. That's it. So the markup language means the language consists of tags, which is like tag-based programming. Hypertext means what guys here? Hyperlinks, which is like clickable, navigating to what? Other pages. Navigating to what? Other pages, right? Exactly. Good. A HTML is a front end or back end? Front end or back end? Front end means like we have the bookmarks of front end, right? Bookmarks of front end is there. Redbus front end is there, Amazon front end is there, Flipkart front end is there, right? To build a front end, we are going for what? HTML. It's a front end technology. In a front end, what we are seeing in the web pages, HTML you said like used to create what? Used to create the web pages. Used to create what? Web pages. What the web page contains? Web page name. What is a web page context? What you are seeing like Amazon, Flipkart, these all the websites, right? Login form. So the web page contains like the forms. The web page contains what? Tell me guys. History web page. The web page contains what? Contains the forms. Contains the forms like what the form is here, login form, login page and what, registration page, updation page, like that. So web page contains whatever forms. HTML used to design the forms. HTML purpose is what? HTML is used to create web page. The web page contains like forms like registration form, login form, like that. So HTML is used to create the forms. Okay? HTML is used to display, very nice. Display the data in what format? Table format. All employee details are showing in what format? Table format. So HTML is used to display the table format. Display what? Table format. Okay? So finally, we understand that HTML is used to create the forms such as like login form, registration form, like that, and they display the data in table format. Display the data in what? Table format. Okay? Hmm? We can display the images and using HTML you can display images and links and links on the images and images are there and what links are there. Okay? Hey, there's a purpose of HTML. If I ask the question of what the purpose of HTML is, sorry, HTML used to create web pages. Sir, the web pages maybe contains the we have the forms is there and the data displayed in what table format. We have the images to display and the links are there for the HTML. Okay? You know, and you see some websites like tutorial point website. Tutorial point contains like tables, forms, and headings and paragraphs of tutorials. Tutorial contains what the data is displayed in what format. Data is, tell me guys, data is displayed in what headings and what headings and what paragraph, right? Exactly. See guys, the web page contains what forms are there. See guys, I'm talking about this all of the topics in HTML. 2 days we'll talk about the forms. One day we'll talk about the tables. One day we'll talk about the images and links. One day we'll talk about the headings and what paragraphs. So HTML is used to create a web page. The web page contains what forms. The web page contains what tables. The web page display the data in what images and links. The web page display the data in what headings and paragraphs. Okay? List format. So we have the product features, right? So we have the benefits of gym program. We have all the points, right? List display. What display is list display? Top 10 people in India, or we can say product details like RAM size. These are the list format, right? Display the data in what format? List format. And the last one is one more thing, like the web page. We have the social media. What you can say is media type. Media type means what is audio files you can display, audio file, video file, Google Maps, audio file, video file, and what Google Maps. It has purpose of HTML. So use it to create HTML purpose is what use it to create the HTML purpose is what use it to create what web pages. The web pages contains what forms, and web page contains what forms are there. Web page contains what tables are there. Web page contains what headings and paragraphs. Web page contains what image and the links and web page contains what audios and videos, media icons. Okay. The list data display, right? List data is what displayed and headings and what paragraph. So that's the purpose of HTML. So we definitely in the front end we are seeing these forms, tables, image and links, and headings and paragraph and the list and media types. What types are media types? So that is the purpose of HTML. You should like overall view about what the purpose of HTML is. You cut it down. That's it. That's the purpose of HTML. HTML is what language is markup language. What the markup language? The language consists of text. Hypertext means hyperlinks like clickable navigating to what other pages. Which means the front end or back end? Front end. Front end means what side? The browser side, right? Then who will execute the HTML code? Who will execute the HTML code? HTML code executed by? Tell me, who will execute HTML code? Which is like the browser side, right? Who will execute means what? Browser also. What browser? All browsers. What are the browser examples? What are the browser example? Chrome, Internet Explorer, right? Yeah, Mozilla, Opera, whatever. Fine. HTML code executed by browsers, right? Code executed by what? Browsers. Hey, Java, right? Who given which company given the Java? Java a company. Java is given by which company? .NET is given by which company? And Python is given by which company? At least you tell me one technology given by which company? ఒక టెక్నాలజీ అని చెప్పండి. Tell me one technology. ఒక టెక్నాలజీ కూడా తెలియదా? Sir, this is a technology given by this company, sir. Huh? .NET is given by Microsoft. Java is given by Oracle. Oracle. Yeah, generally saying Oracle. I work for the company for Oracle. So Oracle. Okay, fine. Like that, HTML is given by who? Given HTML? Which company? HTML is given by the company like W3C. Present is what about W3C. W3 intention is what the intention is like W 3 times and C is there. Instead of they are calling W like that. W like that, they are saying what? W3C. W3C is nothing but what? WWC. That is called W3C. But the W3C full form like World Wide Web consortium. World Wide Web what? Consortium, right? Yeah, good. So this is the company given the HTML. Who will execute HTML code? Who will execute HTML code? HTML is front end. Front end is browser. Execute by browser. Yeah. Front end means what? HTML. HTML is what? Browser side. Browser. Who will execute the code? Browser. Which company given? W3C. W3C is a company which is like HTML was maintained in a company like W3C, right? Good. It is called W3C company. The front end is HTML. Back end is what? Back end. Front end is HTML, right? What are back end technologies? Back end technologies like Java, .NET, Python. These all are what? Front end or back end? Back end. HTML is what? Front end, right? The front end technologies, back end technologies. Good. Yes, see, yesterday I'll write the first application. You want me to write the first application today? Tell me how to write the first application. Where we have write the first application? The first application. See, I want to write the first application. Yes, I decided to write the first application. Where I should write the first application? To write the first application, we have the two options, guys. One is like editors we have. What the editors we have? Tell me. What are the editors? Editors means something like Notepad, Notepad plus plus. VS Code is not editor. It's like IDE. So second part is like IDE. IDE VSC Visual Studio Code. You are saying it's the IDE as well. It's what IDE. Visual Studio Code is IDE, guys, and editors are like Notepad, Notepad plus plus, and I will use the editor like Edit plus editor. Edit plus. These are the editors. Some students like they are using editors to write the code. Hey, don't use a Notepad is a very bad actually. Notepad plus plus is very bad. Editor means Edit plus better, okay? Because this is Edit plus. Actually here it will like color format is there. See, that is HTML code. Looking a bit colorful actually. It's not looking a bit what? Colorful. That's like editor. But companies we are not using this Notepad plus plus, Edit plus. These are the company useless. Companies we are using only what? IDs. But ID like BSc ID, guys. But the full form of ID? The full form of ID is like integrated development environment, something like that. That is called ID. Visual Studio Code full form is what? BSc full form is what? Visual Studio Code. Hey, do you know the difference between ID and editor? What a different ID and editor? Editor is there, right? Notepad, Edit plus, Notepad plus plus is there. ID is there, Visual Studio Code. What the difference? Companies are using what? Editors or IDs? Definitely companies are using IDs. What is the difference? What is the difference here? What is the difference? Generally responded. ID which give the suggestions. See guys, ID will give the suggestions like predefined support it will give, and code also automatically generated. Most of the code will be what? Generated in ID. So ID code is what? Generated. Editor means what? Code generated. We should write the code. We should write the code like line by line format. But real time we never write the code like line by line format. Most of the code is given by ID. See guys, 10% code is given by ID. Much code? 10% code is given by ID. 70-80% code is given by ChatGPT. And remaining code is given by Copilot. And remaining code is given by Andy. It means what? Complete code given. Someone is given. Then what is our responsibility? We need to modify the code and we need to what? Resolve the errors. Modify the code and what? Resolve the errors. Okay, that I'll tell you later classes. Finally, to write the code first application, how many options will be total? Here? Two options. Option one is what? Editors. Option two is what? IDs. Today class, let me go for the editor guys. One of the editor like Edit plus editor. Editor name there is Edit plus editor. Today all of you download the Edit plus editor and write the first application. Sir, how to download Edit plus? Sir, you don't ask anyone to download Edit plus guys. Just you can go for the website like editplus.com. The website name is here editplus.com. Hey, don't ask anyone to download Edit plus. Today you download Edit plus from the first application. But the file here editplus.com. Click on enter button. Where is called editplus.com guys? We have the enter button. We click it. Tell me after that where we have to click. Oma, buy now, downloader. Huh? You click on the download. You click on the download and go for the Edit plus download 6.1. Click on the download. Yes, sir. You want me document? Go to the browser. Enter the download. Click on the download. Good. Click on this download. Then the file is downloaded. Install the file. How do you install? You want any steps for the installation? Next arrow, next arrow, next. Hey, you click on next, finish. That's all. Yes, sir. Hey, don't waste the time Amirpet classes. Open the browser, click on the download, click on that file, click on the next, click on the finish. Go for the website, click on the download, install means what? Next, finish. That's all. Hey, once if you click on the next, finish, guys, and if you go for this is the Edit plus is downloaded. It is downloadable. This is the file which is downloaded. Edit plus is installed. Open this Edit plus simply. Once if you open this Edit plus, by default you will get the empty file. Get what file is your empty file? Actually, this is like getting some data here. Fine. You will get like this window. You want me to write the first application here means what? Where we have to go? Go for the file editor. File. Click on what? New. I don't need to write this all the points. Right? Go to the file. Click on what? New. Click on what? Java, HTML, browser window, CCDP, HTML page. You click on the HTML page. That's all. If you click on the HTML page by default will come. See guys, I'll tell you the document structure of the HTML. HTML document structure. HTML document structure. The HTML document structure. The HTML document starts with what tag? HTML tag. Okay, fine. Before that, you see that here we have the first tag is what? HTML. Doc type is there. First one is a doc type is there. It's HTML key side. First one is what? Doc type is there. What the reason? What the purpose of this doc type? The purpose of the doc type is representing version of the HTML. Version of the HTML. See guys, the HTML document starts with doc type, which is representing the version of the HTML. Sorry, this tag is mandatory optional. This tag is optional, guys. Even if you remove this tag, by default it will take by default takes the HTML file. By default take what? HTML file. Present version of HTML is HTML file. So the HTML document starts with what tag? Doc type, which is representing what version of the HTML. If the tag is mandatory optional. If you remove the tag, any problem is there? No. By default, it will take what? By default, take what? HTML file. Basically, HTML doc type guys. Then after that, it will start with the root tag guys. The root tag is HTML. HTML opening and what? HTML closing. The root tag is what? HTML. Yeah, see, you should know the document structure. You should not know tags one by one tag, because we never write one by one tag. The tags are copied from ChatGPT. We should know where we have to place the tags. That's all. Where we have to place the tags. So HTML document starts with what element here? What element there? It starts with the doc type. Doc type representing what? Version of the HTML. Version of the HTML. If you remove this tag, any problem is there? No problem, because by default you take what version is here? HTML file. And the root element is what about HTML. The root element contains the two sub elements. How many sub elements? Two. One is the head opening and the head closing. And second sub element is what? Body. Body opening and what about body closing. That's it. The root element is what? What is the root element? The root element is the HTML. Hey, you don't need to write these all the points, guys. These all the points I will give you. Like my class, always every day we should write the exam, and every week we have to write the. Every day we have to write the quiz. And every week you have to write the exam. Every week you have to write what? The exam. And every 10 days you have to show project status of your project. I will check your project status on a day basis. For this all, I have my company website. I have my own company, which is like Code Pulse iPhone. The website is there. You open that website, I will tell you for the class today. There we see that, there's my company website. We can see courses are option is there, right? Go for the courses. Website name is what about Code Pulse. Pulse. We have the Heart Pulse, something like Heart. Yeah, Code Pulse is Code Pulse hyphen R. R means Ratan. My name is Ratan. There's a Code Pulse hyphen R. Go for the courses. There you can go for the front end, back end, and database and all. Go for the front end, HTML. If you click on the HTML, today what the points we discussed, because all the points are present here. You see that today what the points we have here. I clearly written the documented on the points. You see that point here. But the first point about HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Markup language means it consists of set of tags. See what the word I'm speaking, the same word is there because that all the sentence written by myself. Markup language hypertext means what? Clickable hyperlink that allows the user to navigate what? HTML used to create web page. The web page contains what among data headings and paragraph. Displaying the data in what format? List format. Display the data in what? Table format. Forms such as login form, including hyperlinks, including audio files, video files, and what? Google Maps. The importance of HTML. HTML used to create what about web pages. And HTML was created by Tim Berners-Lee. He is the creator of HTML. Who is the creator of HTML? Tim Berners-Lee. He is the creator of HTML. And HTML is maintained by 3C company. 3C full form is what? World Wide Web Consortium. And we have the HTML document is a plain text document. We save the extension is what? .html. So definitely see Java language means .java. C means .c. HTML means what about .html. And version of HTML is what? HTML5. HTML could execute with browsers such as Google Chrome, Mozilla. HTML is for the front end, whereas Java is for the back end development. Simple website also using the using HTML you can create a simple personal web pages. Simple website, your website is also using HTML. Even Amazon also using the website HTML only. The collection of web pages. See guys, one web page contains forms, one web page contains tables, one web page contains what? List. That 100 web pages we can call it as what? Website. The collection of web pages we can call it as what? Website. Somewhere collection of web pages we can call it as what? Website. And once you understand HTML means what, like next technology JavaScript, React becomes easy, right? And we talk about HTML document structure, which starts with what about doc type. It starts with what? Doc type. I told editors and ID, right? Both editors and IDs are used to write the application. First one is what this here, editors. Example is what? Notepad, Notepad++, applying text to edit plus something like that. I shown how to download edit plus, right? This is a link for the edit plus, you download and install. Some HTML versions are there 1.0, 2.0. Present version is what? HTML5. That's it. Like that, guys, we have website. This is like class notes what we written. Today, once after the completion of the class notes, today I'll finish this first chapter. We'll finish what? Every day one chapter is finished, guys. If you want any proof tomorrow, you make holiday. Anyone miss the class. One chapter is finished. How many chapters mark? One chapter. See guys, once chapter is completed here, you click on what? Next button. When you click on the next button, go for second chapter, that's okay, fine. We have the text zone is there, right? We have the home button is there, courses are there, tech videos are there, text zone is there. You click on the text zone. There we can see the panel of, quizzes and whatever exams. Today, after finishing first chapter, you go for the quizzes. Go for what? Quizzes. Yeah, after finishing, like the internet bit slow here. After finishing the first chapter, you click on what? Quizzes. Once if you click on the quizzes, it's showing the quizzes panel. Go for HTML. In HTML, you finish the first quiz. So this is a web development basics here. Click on the quiz. So dummy purpose, just as I started the exam, click on the take the exam. Once if you take the exam, it's showing that today class. Today class, this is a quiz for the today class. So you write these all the questions, you click on like submit button, you click on like this, click on like this, click on like this, click on like this. Today one chapter should be confirmed, finished. You click on whatever submit. Once if we click on the submit button, then we got the the exam is submitted. We got the score is how much. Uh, we got the two score like that. That is maintained in your website. Everyone first day you are in the first day of website, right? Before starting the exam, it is asking like the registration. We should register for the website. We register for one time registration required. Once if we register, when my companies, my friend companies, when we have the interviews, we will send a mail to your mail. Send what? Mail to your mail ID. This is exam based. This is exam like almost a 100 marks exam. After completion of HTML, you will get the exam panel here. So exam code we will share at the end of the when you start the exam. This is of type of exam. So when they begin the test, it's asking like full screen mode, where we have the fill in the blanks, where we have the these two questions. Already code is there, we need to where we have the coding around. It's all the coding around. Each person carries the 8 marks. Each person carries how many marks? 8 marks. Like that. We should write the exams like that. Today, after this class, you check the chapter 1 and you complete the chapter 1 quiz for that. Every day I will check your laptop, your account once. I have the report with me. I will check the laptop. Before the class, you finish that exam, finish the quizzes. Every chapter we have the quiz, guys. We have the almost 10 chapters of it. We take the 10 days of HTML. That's it. One day HTML introduction part. Tomorrow we'll talk about the text formatting text. One day we'll talk about the HTML list. One day we'll talk about entities, tables, forms, media tags, DOM tags, semantic elements, navigations. How many chapters are there? 10 chapters, 10 days. 10 chapters, 10 days, 10 quizzes, 1 exam. HTML is over. HTML is what? Over. See guys, we should have the analysis what we are doing. So at the end of the HTML, we should have the clarity. Okay, I know this all the points about HTML. We should have the progress about yourself. If you are irregular, irresponsible, you are not doing any progress, please, I will not accept the class. Be careful. Go for the progress better. Let's go to what? Progress. Because I am the person who will teach the complete UI. I will take the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, React, and Angular. I will teach complete Java, Core, Advanced, Spring Boot, microservices. These are .NET, some other. So today we are starting like what about HTML. What is HTML? You understood, right? What is the markup language? Markup language means what? The language consists of text. Hypertext means what? Hyperlinks which is clickable navigating other pages. The web page contains what? Tables, list, forms, audio files, video files, these are the data. And to write the HTML code, we have the two options with you. One is what? Editors are there. One is what? ID is there. Tomorrow class I'll use ID. Today class I'm using editor. What editor we are using here? Edit Plus. All of you today install Edit Plus, download Edit Plus, install Edit Plus, do the work. You don't ask anyone, don't give the laptop to others. You please install Edit Plus. If others install the software, others are writing the code, then what you guys will do? What is your responsibility? That's what guys, go for the Edit Plus. I show the website, right? Go to the website and see guys, you were decided to write the first application. Document structure we should know. The first tag is what? Doc type. Doc type representing what? Version. After represent what? Version. Second one is what guys here? Root tag is HTML. HTML contains how many subtags? 2 subtags. One is the header, one is the body. HTML is the root element which contains how many sub elements? 2 sub elements. One is the header and one is the body. What we should write inside the header guys? What we should write inside the body? Tell me what we should write inside the header? Yeah, inside the head we always write the metadata. Metadata. So what is the metadata, sir? Like we write the title and we write the in real time CSS file should be separate file. We need to include the CSS to HTML. We need to link the JavaScript files, sir. We need to link to the Bootstrap files, sir. We need to link to the fonts, different fonts. We need to Google fonts we have to use. and we need to link to the, to the HTML document. We need to link to the, what you can say, icons. Yes, sir, man. See, this is HTML document. We need to apply the styles. Means what? Styles are there in the same file or separate file? Separate file. We need to include a CSS file. Where we should include inside the header tag. Inside what tag? Header tag. Header tag contains metadata, guys. And the body tag contains the actual data that is displayed in the browser. In the browser, what you want to see, the data you can write inside the body. In browser, the browser, you want to see heading. H1 tag you write inside the body. You want to see paragraph, write the paragraph inside the body. You want to list li tag, you write inside the body. You want to see the data in the browser, go for the body tag. Those are CSS linking, header. Bootstrap linking, header, metadata. Then metadata means what data about the data is called metadata. CSS linking, CSS is separate file. Link that CSS file here using what tag? Header tag. The header tag contains what data, guys? Metadata, which is nothing but what? CSS linking. You want CSS linking, JavaScript linking, Bootstrap linking, icons linking, fonts linking, because you're using different fonts, Google fonts. All the links should be there in what tag? Header tag. Even title also. Title is showing on the browser or on the tab level. That is also metadata. That is also what? Metadata. No, sir, I want to see in the browser. You want to see in the browser, where we should write the code here? In the body. Where we should write the code in the body. That's it. So you got it? The HTML document starts with what tag? So the HTML document starts with what tag? Doc type. Doc type is representing what? Version. Is this tag is mandatory? Optional? Optional. If you remove this tag, by default you take what version? HTML5. Present version is HTML5. There's a doc type information. The root element is what? The root element is the HTML. HTML is root element. So HTML is opening and what? HTML is what? Closing. A closing tag starts with what? Slash. You want me to tell that pointer? Tag means this symbol required. Closing tag means this symbol required. Understood, right? Tag means what? Opening and closing. Like this is opening tag. This is what tag? Closing tag starts with what? Slash. I don't want to emphasize the points. What's the root element? HTML is a root element. Starting element? Doc type. Doc type is a starting element. Root element is what? HTML. HTML contains how many subparts? Two. One is what? Header. Head opening and what? Head closing. Second one is the body. Body opening and body closing. Body opening and what? Body. But the head contains? Head contains what? Metadata. What is metadata? Link. What links? Links means. See guys, in entry panel, we should tell always elaborated way. You don't tell links, multiples, web pages. You don't give the short forms. Markup language. I asked what is HTML means. You don't tell hypertext markup language. What we should tell. So markup language means the language consists of what's the tags and hypertext means what? Hyperlinks, which is navigating to what? Other pages like the we should have. Elaboration. Header tag contains what? Metadata like CSS linking, metadata like CSS linking, Bootstrap linking, font linking, so that I can understand that you are aware of what? Head information, how to link this all the files. How to link this all the files. Got it, right? That is called head. Head contains what data? Metadata. What is metadata like? CSS. Metadata like titles, CSS linking, Bootstrap linking, JavaScript linking, icon linking, font linking. These all the links will be there in what tag? Header tag. What the body tag contains? The data that you want to see in the browser. The data that you want to see in the browser, you write inside what tag? Body tag. That's it. So that is called document structure. See guys, let me write the first application about the HTML. To write the first application, you do one thing. I told how to download Edit Plus, right? Install Edit Plus. Install what? Edit Plus. To install Edit Plus, guys. Yeah, to install Edit, open this Edit Plus. Once if you open Edit Plus, go to what? Tell me guys, go to what? File. Click on what? New. Click on what? Huh? Yeah, open that Edit Plus. File and just you can open what? File. Click on what? New. Click on what? HTML page. By default, you will get some document file, guys. You remove this document file. I remove this. We write the code for that. You write the code for that. Doc type is required, not required, not required. Ignore it. By default, you take the HTML file. Right? Ignore it. The root tag is what? HTML opening and what? HTML closing. HTML opening and what? HTML closing. Which contains how many sub elements? Two. One is the header. Head opening and what? Head closing. Second sub element is what? Body. Body opening and tell me fast. Body closing. That's all. What the head contains? It contains what? Metadata. Metadata like CSS linking, Bootstrap linking, icon linking, form linking. But we don't have the CSS file, JavaScript file, Bootstrap files, icon files, theme files. We don't have anything. As of now, we can write what tag about title. You write the title opening and what we say title closing. Inside the title, just like we write the message like what? Welcome title. What welcome. Go for the body. You want to see the data in the browser, you can go for whatever in the body tag. Let me write the heading tag is, let me write the H1 tag. What tag is? I'll tell you tomorrow what the H1, H2, H3, but just I'm writing H1 tag. H1 opening and what? H1 closing. That's it, guys. Just you can write a message, welcome to one Prathul's UI classes. Like that. I'm writing H1 tag. And if you want, you can write the H2 tag, the students are what? Students are max. Like that, I write some message, close the H2. That's it, guys. Within the code. So, that's it, that's it. Yeah, tell me things after that, what we do? Edit in the code. After editing the code, save the code. How to save? Control S, you know, right? Good. Hey, before saving, you do one thing. You go to the local disk D. You create one folder to save your files. In local disk D, going to like local disk D, you create one folder. But the folder can be. So they given any batch name for you? No batch name. Okay, HTML 9 AM. I'm creating just the file is what? HTML 9 AM something like that. You check the file folder name. What the folder name? HTML 9 AM. You please save this file in this location, all of you. Then you create the folder HTML programs otherwise. HTML programs. Then tell me how to save. Go to the file menu, click on the save, otherwise Control S. I hope you know Control S, right? But Control S. Control S, you can write. Where we have to save? Local disk D. In the local disk D, you created the folder. What the folder you created? HTML. HTML 9 AM. Good. HTML 9 AM. Yeah. Here I want to save the file. Tell me how to save the file. I am writing first dot Java. First dot what? HTML. Good. HTML. You know, my it is fifth class. My it is what? Fifth class. In fifth class, she has the HTML. She know complete HTML. She can teach HTML also. She has the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap. She know all. In fifth class, they have the syllabus of HTML, UI. In that school. My Stravia knows this all. Now I am teaching this for the graduate and postgraduate students. You are the graduate and postgraduate side, definitely. My friend kid is there in the Nazar International Schools. 8th class, they have the Java, complete Java and Python. Complete Java and Python. That's what I'm laughing. Basic guys. In intro also, intro you are laughing means you are saying worst answers. Interview will not tell like you are saying worst answer. Just we laugh. Is laughing means you are saying what answers are worst answers. Like you are saying syntax or something like that. Got it done? Okay, fine. First that HTML. There is like first that HTML. Click on what? Enter button. Enter button. Save the file. After saving the file, just you can go and check the location. Where is the location? Where is the location? This PC, local disk D, HTML 9 AM. Go to the file. What the file we got? First, open this file. That's it. Open this file. You see the output. We got the message like welcome to H1 tag in this one. This is what? H2 tag. That's it. This is the data designated in the body tag. You want to see the data in the browser, this body tag became. This is the body tag. There is a title. Welcome, you read the title, right? Where is the title? Under the tab, right? The the top of the tab. There is a tab here. Here you see that this is a type. This is what I'm typing. So you got it. That is the extent. Just you can write some code, save the code, open the file. Write the code, save the code, and what? Open the file. You got it right? That's it. Hey, you please tell me one more time. I'll write the code one more time. For my satisfaction, tell me how to write the code. Edit plus you download and you install. After that, can we open Edit plus you can. Open Edit plus. You open. 1 second. Let me close this PS file. File. New. HTML case. This code you don't disturb. Delete. Then you write the code. After required, not required. Starting that is what? HTML opening and what? HTML closing. HTML opening and HTML closing is there. HTML closing is enough. After that, HTML contains how many subtags? 2. One is the head opening and head closing. Head opening and what? Head closing. Second one is the body opening and body closing. Okay, fine. Close the body. After that, you have head contains what? Metadata. Is what? Metadata is CSS linking, bootstrap linking, CSS linking, bootstrap linking, font linking, icon linking, JavaScript linking, links. But as of now, we don't have the links. We have as of now what? Title. Title is previously written button of welcome. Now we say what? Bye bye. Just we can write the bye bye, close the title, and go for what? H1. Some H1. H1 opening and what? H1 closing. Tell me H1 what we should write? Today class is what? Completed. Today class is what? Completed. Just you can write the H2. Be regular to the classes. Be regular to the classes. Focus on what? Focus on what? Then think about what? Think about software job. Think about what? About software. So irregular, irresponsible. Irregular means not regular. Irresponsible means no quizzes, no reading, no exam. Irresponsible. Then don't expect any software job because software jobs are very dangerous. Irregular, you should be responsible because we have the project handling course of project. The project cost is a lakhs or crores? Lakhs. Crores. Amazon project cost is lakhs or crores? It means we are dealing with the project price of crores. Then think about how much responsibility you have. That's what guys, we require the responsible people who work for the project, who can have the how in first got it right? You should be focused on the work and you should focus on what is HTML, what is a markup language, what is HTML contains, what is the starting tag, okay, body, metadata. You think like that means your concentration should be here means you will not get what? Laziness. Your concentration not here or outside means what? Definitely you get what? Right. First day, right, I can manage. Because you don't have work. If you are busy with the work, then you can focus on the work. You are not busy means then you get the owl and the sleeping, irresponsibility like that. Today, what I told, I will check your laptop after 1 hour. You are writing first example or not, you written the quiz or not, you checking the notes or not. I will track all the data so that you have some what you can say, responsibility and professionalism. What is some professional? Okay, that's it, guys. I written the code. Be regular to the class, focus on work, then think about software job. Irregular, irresponsible, no jobs. So that's it. Yeah, complete. I written the code. What I should do? Save. How to save? Control S. Where I have to save? Where I have to save on local disk D. What the file? HTML 9. You give the file name. What the file name here? Bye bye dot what? HTML. Then you save the bye bye dot HTML. Just you can go for the file is what? Bye bye file. Open that bye bye file, guys. You get the bye bye message. That's all. See, guys, today class is what? Completed. Be regular to the class. Focus on what? Then think about what? Software job. Got it done? It's very important thing, guys, because we have the number of openings in my companies, other companies also. See, guys, these days we have the openings are there in the companies. but we don't have the people to work for the projects because most of the people knows only HTML basics, CSS basics, and these days if you know HTML basics, Core basics, what you can do with my project. We expected the people who can handle the microservices, who can handle the REST APIs, who can handle the React projects. Not like what you can say, discount, P plus P edition, 10 plus 20, 30. We don't want this all. What we like. Okay, guys. The only thing is like be regular to the classes, be responsible towards your work. Focus on your work. That's all. Then think about what software job. Directly don't think of software job. Hey, don't play the card. I want software job. You pray like you focus on your work first. Be regular to your job. Focus on your work, then automatically you get the job. Automatically get what job, right? Exactly. I think this online person is saying that the size is changing between the H2 and H1. Yeah, changing. Tomorrow I'll tell you the heading tags and the text formatting tags. I'll tell you. Today we are targeting what? Heading tags are first application. First application. That's it. We got it. That's it. What are the website name we have to check? Icon R. First day we have to register. Guys, we need to register for the website. Go for whatever courses. In the courses, HTML. You click on the courses HTML. Then we can see the first day, like first course. Create server website. Before start the quiz, you write this all the check these all the points once. You read these all the points. It contains the metadata information documents such as like page title, CSS linking, JavaScript linking, font related linking, icon linking, bootstrap linking, etc. The header tag data visible or not visible? Not visible. If you want to see the data in the browser means where we should write? In the body tag. We have the editors like this. We have the HTML versions. We have the first application. We have what? First application. You want to try this like so here we got the message like hello world, welcome to what? Brothers or classes like that. We have the data like this. If you want to try this, use the online compiler. You have the option like try this option. If you click on the try this, you have the copy option. If you want to copy the code. If you click on the try this guys, it opens the like try this, you can get the HTML browser. Then you can run this code. If you run this code, you'll get the output on the right side. But guys, like this, let me paste this data here. Paste like this. Click on one button or run button. You get output like this. If you want to try, you can try that. Sir, yes. Today you do this work. You download Edit Plus, you run the first application, check the output is coming or not, and you write the first chapter, check the complete first chapter notes, and complete the quiz. Where the quiz is there? Test job. Test job when you click on the test job, you go for whatever quizzes. Quiz and exam is there. Don't go for what quizzes now. Go for the quizzes. If you click on the quizzes, then you can go for one quiz in HTML. If you click on the HTML, first you take the first quiz. Like the HTML contains how many quizzes total? 7. Okay, fine. Today complete the first quiz. Take the quiz. You can read this all the point and you can tell the point. Which programming language is used for the backend development? What's the programming language used for the backend development? All of the above concepts is there. Which of the document contains the metadata information? Which section of the HTML document contains the metadata information? Well, which of the following example is editors? Editors are what edit plus notepad are is all of them. What does stand for HTML? Hypertext. What language? What option? D. Hypertext markup language. What does metadata refers to HTML? What does metadata? JavaScript linking, CSS linking, font linking, all of the above. All of the above. Why this all of the above coming is starting like when you write the exam on the physics, all questions will come randomly. Questions will come randomly. Answers also will come randomly. So, maybe your answer is A means maybe other person answer may be D. Answers are random, questions are random, all are random. That's what all of the above coming as start. If you read the question, someone said answer C means your answer is not a C. Your answer may be different. That's what. Hey, 5 questions already I do, the remaining questions were written. So now I got how many marks? You can submit. This submitted successfully. And then, hey, you got the 4 only, right? I used D, that is hypertext. Oh, sorry, wrong. Yeah, fine, you try once. And every report you will get the mail also. Big mail also. You got the mail for the reports and every exam what we written you got the mail. Everything you get the mail. Clear? Open the laptop. Do the first example. Do the first piece. Do the one. So in resume, how many links should be there? Hey, you learn the concept. Then I will help you like the projects here. We have the project. And the project link we have the portfolio website. See, we need website download just I'll tell you later. View website. This is the portfolio website. Name is portal site. This is the image will come. Your image will come. Just like all of them. Here we have some student projects. Like that next your project will come. These are the student projects if you want to see. Go for the project if you want to see this project. Narendra. This project is there. If you do like that, you can showcase in your interview. Sir, I built a project which is there in the portal section. You can see my project like this. Download from GitHub is there. View website. This is the website is built by the live. Wait, this is what? Live loan. One of the student is built a project. One of the student like you. You should showcase the data like this. And you click on the website and you can go for add to cart. And we got the report like site wide like add to cart links. And we click on the non-vis items like cart items. Here we got the manual discount, coupons you can apply 30% discount. Here you can write this is a Ravi and you can apply. Click on what? Apply. Yeah. We got the coupon discount is what? 626 rupees. And we include the QR code also. I'll do the payment options for you. And you will get the mail also. Here if you enter the mail ID, show and enter the mail ID like this one. You will get the mail also. Click on submit. Here the previous orders, any orders are there. Contact information about us. Your account, the sign-in page, and you have the sign-up page. You see that projects, previous student projects, we built some of the projects. In UI classes, we don't write a single line of code also. We have the US parts in my website. We build the US parts. We have to check just check the overview of the website parts. US parts. US parts are being tested, and we get the different designs in my company. Different designs like different titles if you want. These are all the titles. What title you want, just you can view the code. See, for example, you want this title. Click on the view code, click on the copy the code, you can paste in your project. Different buttons are there, different entities are there, and different animations are there, alerts are there, colors are there. See, you are responsible to copy the data, work with the data. You are not responsible for writing the code. You should know where we have to place the code. That's it. You are not for in the company to write the code. You are for my company. What? To copy the code and modify the code and run the project. Run the process. Very important. You got it? Huh? That's all. Open the project, open the laptop, complete the work. Open your no laptops. Laptop. Hey, software developers carry the laptop. Without laptop, no jobs. Jobs at laptop. Carry the laptop from tomorrow onwards. The laptop carry చేయండి. క్యారీ చేసి ఓపెన్ చేసి కొడతా ఉండదు ఏదో ఒకటి టిక్ 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 మరి అప్పుడు కొద్దిగా యూ గెట్ ద కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ టు వర్క్ ఫర్ ద ఇండస్ట్రీ. ల్యాప్టాప్ ఓపెన్ చేయకుండా బుక్కులు రాసుకుంటూ ఉంటే ఎట్లా?
online people. You write the check the website. You open the website. You complete the first page.